everyone, I hope you're all doing well. So I'm here with my makeup bag, and this contains all the makeup that I have been using and am planning to use this summer. I do these makeup bag videos seasonally because I feel like every season, every 3 months or so, my makeup sort of changes. Now there are some items that I kind of have in all my makeup bags. They're sort of staples in my makeup routine. Then of course I also have my current Project 10 pan items, and then also items that I'm planning to use for my next Project 10 pan that I'm hoping to start sometime this summer. So I'll get started and go through all the items, and I'll try to go in the order that I would apply the items, so kind of category by category. So the first item is my primer. This is the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. It does have an SPF 15, which isn't a very high SPF, but I feel like for summer it's great to have any items that have SPF, especially you can layer them. So that is my primer for this summer. Next, for my sort of foundation BB cream category, I have a few different things. So for foundation, I have the Urban Decay Naked Skin. And I've used this a little bit. I had been focusing on finishing up the Makeup Forever, the mattifying foundation. So I have not got a ton of use out of this, but I have liked it the times I use it. I like that this is a lighter sort of coverage. I would say it's more of like a medium coverage, and it's a thinner, like liquidy consistency. So I do really think it will be good for summer. So excited to get some more use out of this. And then for BB cream, I have two different options, and I really like BB cream for summer because it is a little bit lighter than a foundation. I feel it's just easier to apply if I want to do my makeup really quickly, or if I want to do sort of no makeup looks. And these also both have SPF, which is great. So for BB cream, I have the Dr. Jart, the Black Label Detox, which has an SPF 25. And then I also have this from Silky Fit. It's a concealer BB, has an SPF 34 and it's PA++. So this is actually a sample size. The full size of this has, I think like one end is the BB cream and then the other one is a concealer. That's why it's called a concealer BB, but this little sample is just the BB cream. So those are my sort of foundation face products. For concealer, I have two options. I have the Tarte Shape in Fair, and then I also have the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in Chantilly. So the Tarte one I got just this year, so it's a newer purchase for me, and I had been using this one very consistently, like every day. And then the Nars one is something that I've had in my collection for longer, and this is a repurchase in my collection. It's something I've used up several times, so it's a concealer I really like. But I've started to use this one a little bit more recently, like more frequently than the Tarte one. So I kind of wanted to go back and forth between these, so I wanted to have both of them as options in my summer makeup bag. So those are the concealers. Next I have my setting powders, and I have two options for this. One is sort of for my, like in my bathroom as I'm getting ready in the morning, and the other one is for my purse. So the one that I'm using in the mornings when I'm first doing my makeup is the Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. This is a loose powder. And I really like loose powders because I feel like you can just get just the right amount of product. So I do really like this for setting my makeup. It's very pretty. So this is what I'm currently using. And then in my purse I have a pressed powder. I feel pressed powders are just a little bit easier to use on the go than something loose. Not as messy and just easier to apply in like any sort of circumstance. So for my pressed powder for my purse, it's also translucent powder. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I've used up one of these before and I really liked it, and so I've since repurchased it. So that one will be in my purse. Next for blush, I have my Project 10 pan blushes. Of course, I have a cream blush and a powder blush. So for my cream blush, I have the Josie Maran Coconut Water Cheek Gelee and Poppy Paradise. If you've seen my Project 10 pan videos, you've seen this so many times. But this is nice for summer because, again, if I want to do just like light looks or like quick makeup looks, this is nice. It's just like a cream blush. It just gives a little wash of color. But I do like layering this one with my powder blush, which is the Tarte 24/7 Amazonian Clay Blush in Exposed. So that's what that one looks like. This is great. This is like my only blush options. They layer very well together. And this particular blush, I just think it's a great like neutral sort of everyday blush, and I don't mind wearing it like on the weekends as well. So really love the blush options. I do have some highlighter options. Again, I have a cream and a powder product. So for my cream product, I have the Benefit Watts Up. This is also my Project 10 pan. It's a product I'm not really getting a lot of use out of, but I'm hoping like this summer I might be a little bit more into the highlight, especially like a cream highlight. So hopefully I can get some more use out of this. It's just sort of a champagne-y highlight. It's actually really pretty. I should try to use it more often, but that's that one. And this also layers well with my powder blush, which is the Josie Maran Argan Enlightenment Illuminating Veil. Now I think with this I could kind of sweep it all over my face, but I do like to use it as just kind of a subtle highlight. I'm not huge into highlight, but it can be sort of pretty to use, and also I think it's pretty summery to have like a pretty glow. So that's my other highlighting option. Then for a finishing powder, I have my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Ethereal Light. So that's what that one looks like. It's the lighter one, like the whiter one. But it's just so pretty, like just sweep it all over my face. Especially if I put on a little too much blush, it can help like soften that a little bit, and it's just really pretty. So I do really like this item. So that is also in my makeup bag. Then I have my current setting spray. I really like this. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. This is just nice to kind of set everything. I guess you can use this as a primer as well. I haven't really done that. I use it more as a setting spray, but that's what I will be using this summer, or continue to be using. Next I have my eye products. So for eyeshadow primer, I have my Nars Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. This is also another staple in my collection. I've gone through a lot of these, so this is kind of always my eyeshadow primer that I'm using. Then for my cream eyeshadows, I have a few things that I'm currently using. I have from Mercier the Caviar Stick and Vanilla Kiss. This is nice. It's just a cream kind of matte. I use this just all over my lid as kind of a base after I put on my eyeshadow primer. Then I follow up with this before I put on like a powder eyeshadow. So that's what that one looks like. And then I'm also using for cream eyeshadow my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Duality Pencil. And this has a matte and a shimmer side. So the matte side I use as a base for my brow bone highlight. So that's what the matte side looks like. And then the shimmer side, I'm trying to get more use out of this. So I do like using it sort of on my lower lash line and in the inner corner just to add a little bit of highlights, but I will also be using this summer. And then for my powder eyeshadow, I have a few different options. So the main palette that I'm going to be using is my Urban Decay Naked 2 palette. So that's what it looks like, and you can see I have shades that I've hit pan on that I'll be focusing on more. I do want to try to use up those shades. And then I used up the shade in this palette, the Booty Call shade, which is the like kind of, it's like a shimmery, like satin, like light color. And I took the shade Smog from my Naked palette and put it into this palette. I do really love this shade Smog. I think it's a great color, especially for summer. I like it, and it gives me a little bit of a like a warm toned option. So that's the palette that I'll be using. And then along with this, I also have my little Urban Decay Naked 2 Basics palette, which these are meant to pair together. It's more cool toned. They're both more cool toned, and this gives me some great matte options, because this palette, I believe it has, let's see, 3 matte shades. So it has the shade Foxy, which is this more yellow matte. I've tried to use that as like a brow bone highlight. It doesn't really work for me, so I do need something from my Naked 2 Basics. It has this taupey shade. This is in Tease. This is a good sort of crease shade, and then it has this matte black, which is blackout. So a few matte options, not a ton. So I do like also having my little basics palette as well. And from this palette, the shade that I use every day is Skimp, which is right here. I use that one as a brow bone highlight, but then it also has these other sort of matte shades. So if I want to do, you know, more of a matte look, just a kind of simple, like quick look, I can just reach for this. And these also pair together really, really well. And then in addition to those palettes, I do have one sort of eyeshadow single. It's technically a highlighter, but I mainly use as an eyeshadow. This is from the Balm. It's the Merry Luminizer, and it's just in this little like deluxe size packaging. But I find that this is a really great sort of champagne-y, shimmery shade. Since I used up the shade, the Booty Call shade from the Naked 2 palette, this is a kind of a good substitute for that sort of like tone of a shade. So this is also something that I do want to use this summer as well. If I want to do just sort of a, you know, a shimmery, lighter sort of look, that's a great option for that. Then I have some eyeliners. I have 2 liners. So they're both Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On pencils. I have Desperation, which is in my Project 10 pan. It's just a matte gray. I really prefer more like gray or brown sort of liners versus black. So this one I definitely will be using and have been using. I also have this more taupey shade, which I think pairs really well with the Naked 2 palettes. And this one is in Mushroom. This one's a little bit more of a shimmery sort of taupe. It's really pretty. I can use this on the upper lash line. It's also really pretty on the, like, smudged out on the lower lash line. So those are my liner options. Then for mascara, I have a little deluxe size mascara. I just recently started using this one. It's kind of like gonna be my like summer mascara. But this is the Buxom Lash Mascara. And I have been enjoying this. It has just like a straight wand, and it's more like plasticky bristles, like short plasticky bristles. I do really like this. I feel like it's easy to apply and it gives a good amount of like volume. So I like that. I have a few brow products. So from Benefit, I have the Gimme Brow. And I like this because it just adds a little bit of tint of color to my eyebrows. This is in the shade 3, the medium shade. They do have more shades of this now. I think originally they only had like 3 different shades, like a light, medium, and dark, but now they're expanding the shade range. So I'm not really sure, like, I kind of got this and then they kind of added colors, so I don't know exactly what color I would get if I were to repurchase this, but this is the medium shade and I have been really enjoying that. And then also for brow products, I have the Makeup Forever, the I think it's in the color Transparent. It's just a clear brow gel. So I like to use the Gimme Brow just to add a little bit of color, and then like a clear brow gel to just hold everything in place. So I'll also be using that this summer. Finally, I have my lip products. I have a lot of different lip products. These are all of my current Project 10 pan items. Well, I have a lip balm. This is not Project 10 pan, so I'll just mention this quickly. But this is the Fresh Sugar Lip Treatment. It has a SPF 15, which, you know, is better than nothing. Just like a clear lip balm. This I like to put on kind of before I put on other like lip products, just to sort of moisturize my lips. So that I will be using. And then the rest of the items, all the colored lip products, they're all either in my current Project 10 pan or they're for my next Project 10 pan. So you get a little sneak peek into what I'm planning to use up next. But for these products, I have my Fresh Sugar Lip Treatment in Honey. Also has SPF 15. This is currently like living in my purse because I'm like reapplying it and trying to use it up. But it's just a very pretty sort of warm tone. It gives a little bit of a tint. I think it's really great for summer, so I'll be using that item. Then I have my little Bite Beauty Amuse Bouche lipsticks in the shades Honeycomb, which again is just a nude, like a nude warm shade, really pretty. And then I have Pepper, which is more of a like reddish shade. I think it's also really, really pretty. So those are my sort of lipsticks, and I think they work really well with the eyeshadow options, so I'm really happy with that. And then I have another, this is not a Project 10 pan item, so I'm realizing that statement was kind of wrong. But this is an Amuse Bouche in Fig, and this actually is pretty on its own if I want to do something sort of different than my more neutral shades, but it also like pairs really well mixed with honeycomb. It makes it a little bit more of a mauve shade, so also be using that. And then I have some lip gloss options, which is always great for summer, again, for that like quick sort of effortless makeup look. But I have the Benefit Sugar Balm in the Ultra Plush Lip Gloss. So this I'm trying to currently use up for my Project 10 pan. And then I have a few more lip gloss options, and both of these will be for future Project 10 pan. But I have the Buxom. This is the Full-On Lip Cream in the shade Berry Blast. So if I want to do something a little bit more bright and fun, I have this option. Just see the color of this, super pretty. I think super great for summer, so something a little bit more vibrant than my more neutral shades. And I think it also would pair really nicely with that Fig shade. Just kind of realizing that now, that that would be a really great like pairing together. So I definitely have to try that out. And then finally for lip gloss, and this is my last item, I have the Sephora collection. This is the Oil Infusion. It's in this shade, I think Grenadine. Find the shade name. Oh, here on the top, Bubbly Grenadine. It looks like it's red. It doesn't go on this intense because it is just like a lip gloss or a lip infusion oil. It's really nice, nice and hydrating. So this is also something I'll be trying to use up and trying to get some use out of this summer. So that is everything for my summer makeup bag, the stuff that I'm currently using and the stuff I'm planning to use over the next few months. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.